everybody, and welcome to How to Knit an Awesome Hat for Beginners. This video, we just want to cover the supplies that you're going to need for this project. So first of all, you're going to need a 16-inch size 8 circular needle. 16-inch size 8 circular needle. These come in a variety of different styles. So there are metal, there are wood needles. If you are a relatively new knitter, I would recommend wooden needles, as the metal can get a little slippery. So wooden needles aren't quite as slippery as you're just kind of learning how to work with this type of needle. You're also going to need one set of size 8 double point needles. They usually come in a 5-pack, and these are about probably 6 inches long or so. And you're going to need one set of these. And the reason we use these is once you start decreasing for the top portion of the hat, you're going to be decreasing the amount of stitches you have, so that you'll get to a point where they no longer will fit on the circular needle. You also are going to need one tapestry needle. And these you're going to use in a variety of different knitting projects for finishing techniques like weaving in ends. You'll see it has this kind of curved point to it, which is really great for the finishing techniques that you're going to need to do on a variety of knitting projects. These usually come in a multi-pack, and I would highly recommend investing in one of those because you'll find that you misplace them or lose them easily. You're going to also need one stitch marker, and stitch markers come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and styles, and I just have a kind of a sampling here of some that I really like. This one is really cute. It looks like a little ball of yarn. Some of the times you'll see like gems, like all different kinds of designs and styles. You want to make sure that the circumference of the stitch marker will fit on your knitting needle, so make sure you check that. Most of them are pretty standard size. We're working on a size 8 needle, so you want to make sure it will fit around a size 8. There are tons of really pretty stitch markers, and then there are some very basic ones like these, and you'll see that they're just kind of, one here is rubber, these others are plastic, and they will fit around a variety of sizes of knitting needles, and oftentimes these will come in a big multi-pack with all different sizes, for all different, knitting needle sizes. So whatever you choose is up to you. I think it's fun to have stitch markers, so I try to find unique ones that I just like to have in my collection. So you'll need one stitch marker because we're going to be knitting in the round. You're also going to need worsted weight yarn. We're going to be knitting on a size 8 needle for this project, and I'm going to knit my hat with the Lamb's Pride. It's a lovely worsted weight yarn, and it's wool, so it's nice and warm for a nice warm winter hat. I have chosen to do stripes in my hat, so I have 2 different colors. I'm going to do Packer colors, Go Pack Go, so I can make some awesome Packer hats for winter. So you're going to need worsted weight yarn. You may choose to add a stripe and do multiple colors if you want to. I will teach you how to do that if you're somebody who is interested in adding stripes to your hat. Otherwise, just choose one solid color, a variegated color, something that you can work on a size 8 knitting needle. You might find that your yarn comes packaged in different ways. So this one is a loose hank here. You can see how it looks very different from our other skein. And we have a braided hank here. So if your yarn that you decide to use for this project is packaged like either of these, make sure that you wind it into a ball before you get started. I have a video titled how to do that in our knitting tips and tricks series, and I think it's called What to Do with That Hank, or what to do with your yarn before you get started. So again, if you are somebody who's using yarn that comes like this, make sure that you put it into a ball or cake first. And if you need help with that, please head over to our knitting tips and tricks series and watch that video before we get started. The last thing you're going to need is your pattern, and you'll find a link in the description for a free download of that pattern. If you're somebody who hasn't used knitting patterns much, make sure you print it out and have a physical copy because it does make it much easier. We will have a video where we just go through the pattern and explain the different components and parts that you see there. So this is what you're going to need for your project, and I hope you have fun choosing your yarn, and let's meet back at the next video so we can get started casting on.